Marcela Diaz, Marcela, last name Diaz, Diaz and David IAZ, Manager of Settlement and Integration Programs.
Anna Milojevic, ANA, Milojevic. I am the Associate Manager of Settlement and Integration Services.
My name is RIham Al-Saadi. I am currently a Windsor Resettlement Assistance Program Case Manager.
We have two programs at our organization that serve government-assisted refugees that are funded by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. The Resettlement Assistance Program, or RAP program, aims to serve government-assisted refugees during their first weeks in Canada to provide them essential and immediate services. This program is usually 4 to 6 weeks in duration. The other program that we have is called the Client Support Services Program, or CSS program. This program is unique to Ontario, and this program aims to provide case management services to GARs who are destined to Windsor for up to 1 year of their arrival here in Canada, and also this program also is involved actively in community capacity building initiatives. Definitely. While our organization has been funded to provide 250 services to 250 regular GARs, with the Syrian arrivals, our numbers increased dramatically. In the last 4 months, we have received 622 Syrians. This is over our regular targets. In the upcoming years, we will continue to serve 250 services for regular GARs, 250 regular GARs coming from different countries where Canada has an agreement in terms of resettlement, and we will be receiving Syrian arrivals as well.
The services within the Multicultural Council, in terms of the culture shock, all of the Syrian refugees particularly, or other even refugees, come into a new community. So they are unaware of the services that are here. There are different roles and practices. So just for example, like family relations, the gender roles, for example, like the woman playing a more active role, how to go about child practices, for example, like what are the acceptable and unacceptable practices that we have here in Canada. So how these programs help, what both programs do, continue to play a role in that, first within the education, so like delivery of orientation, to provide them with information about the Canadian culture and what our different aspects are like. And then continuing on, for example, like with the CSS program, depending on their needs, what are the challenges that they may have, whether that's their awareness of the services in the community, that being practices like family relations, even health or services, or other like mental health services if they want to navigate such a system. So we provide kind of like the role of a facilitative role, I'm gonna call it, to have them overcome that culture shock. So that's actually what we do in the RAP program, or the Resettlement Assistance Program. As a case manager, we work with them in the first, I'm gonna say 6 to 8 weeks, starting with the reception. So we do welcome them in the airport, and then we take them to their temporary accommodation. The idea is within the first 10 days, we deliver a couple of orientations. One is general information about health, housing, and other aspects, like I said, of the Canadian culture, inclusive of practices, and at the same time we provide a financial orientation. Within that time frame as well, we help them secure a permanent accommodation. So we have housing coordinators that help with that. They connect with landlords in the community, and we help them settle into that permanent permanent accommodation to start their settlement process, or I'm going to call it the resettlement process. Now, that's the case with the Resettlement Assistance Program in general. So that's how it happens in general, stepwise. A lot of them come and they do actually
Do
start their phone service, like I'm gonna say almost immediately, but we are the point of contact like in the very beginning of the process. So as the multicultural counselor, as their case manager, we are the contact, I
Yes.
would say, to that.
So we accompany the
Marcela.
clients, for example, to open for their SIN account, or we have a partnership also with Service Canada, in which Service Canada will come to the temporary accommodation for opening their SIN card. We accompany them to Service Canada for their OHIP cards. We assist the children register them in school, and we work with also with a broad range of community partners that will assist us if necessary.
I'm gonna say the very first and the toughest challenge is that meaning of safety for them, really. So when they very first like arrive, a lot of them say, "Finally, I'm safe." You know, they're coming back from a work complication or even a situation where they're unable to, most likely unable to return back to their communities because their communities no longer exist. So, sorry. So, what the toughest challenges are like really to redefine that they are safe here right now. They are safe in Canada. The next steps would take them within the very first days or even on a longer term process is the learning about what the Canadian culture is like. They are very eager actually to integrate. They're very eager to learn more about our community. So I think as the Windsor community, we've played a very good, wonderful facilitative role for that. We've all worked together to help them overcome that. Another challenge initially was, for example, and just which we were, I believe we were able to overcome is like, for example, the housing. It's a huge population, and Windsor is thought of as a small community, but really the response I've seen tells how huge our community is. It has responded to that, so that was one of the challenges. Primarily as well, the health issues and mental health issues. So a lot of them come with quite a few come with health issues due to the work complications. So if they were subject to a certain incident or injury or something like that. On the other aspect of mental health, if they come either diagnosed or not, you know, with the idea of post-traumatic stress, really thinking back, like, is there hope? You know, a lot of them lost that hope per se to go back to their community. So helping them kind of address that, I'm gonna say, would be something that we are helping them, but it will take a longer time. It will take a longer response time for that. Yes, actually, the term culture shock is being replaced a little bit, like a lot. Some researchers pointing out that we are no longer to call it culture shock because it's not just one culture; it's multiple cultures. So the idea of acculturative stress is that acculturative is a process. Acculturation is a process of how they come, what do they come with, and what they're presented with in the recipient community. So. The stages, if you call me, I don't think there's a particular stage per se, but it depends on, it's very unique to the individual or even the family. So what they come with. I'm going to say, if you're asking me about the Syrian refugees per se, then it will be the very first stage of, like I said, redefining what safety is, right? And then the other step is, am I going to be able to resettle in this community? How do I do about that? They have absolutely no knowledge of what, you know, initially I'm talking like who are we? What are we like as a community? So really the other step is, because of their eagerness and like motivation, they are asking these questions. They're asking us for help. They're asking, you know, CSS rep, whoever that is, that I need to resettle. I want to resettle. So the next stage would be like, you know, helping them, for example, learn a little bit more about the community and address, say, the language barrier, one of the first steps. Within that, we're looking into like employment. If they want to be employed, how do we go about that? How do we help them integrate into our system? And then on the long run, like I see it more of a longer process. Like I said, depending on the individual, what case they have, it's a high need or, you know, a critical case or not. It's quite different for everyone.
The Resettlement Assistant programs provides support for up to 1 year. So if the refugee finds employment during that time frame and is able to support himself, the RIham financial assistance will cease. The commitment from the federal government is up to 1 year. If still the government-assisted refugee requires financial assistance, he or she will be transitioned into the provincial programs or Ontario Works in Windsor.
We are coming here to client support services, which Marcela already mentioned. That's another program that is that continues and work very closely with RIham services. The case managers utilized a case management model in providing their services, which means that they do a very thorough needs assessment of clients, they do the appropriate referrals, they do the follow-up, and they also do the final check-in and they close the case. In a sense, in the terms how they're mobile, is they're trying to provide, and they do provide complete services to complete family. So all the needs of the clients are taken into consideration, and they also do the needs assessment either upon the arrival of the clients, or they also follow up with a home visit. So they're really mobile in that sense. Their mobility is also shown through escorting clients to a variety of appointments. In this case, we talk mostly about the health appointments, as well as to the appointments with the other community agencies, whatever the needs of clients are. That's also a chance for the case managers to advocate for the needs of clients and to establish the relationship with the service providers, and all these service providers that Canada has and wonderfully supports and take care of needs of the clients are all new for the clients. So, and this is very important, and in a sense that this is the way how the service providers also learn about the needs of clients and everything that that goes with it, in a sense of complexity of their needs.
In order to assist and work together for a successful resettlement and settlement process for the Syrian arrivals who came in large numbers, we really worked in mobilizing the community. We met with approximately 70 different service providers. We organized sectorial tables around health, which included health and mental health, around education, around housing, around settlement services, and also welcoming. Each of the tables had key members and key representatives from the community. We looked at at the inventory of services that were available in the community, and also gaps in services, and we have been working together ever since. This model has been really successful in working in addressing the needs of that not benefited only the Syrian clients, but has benefited all newcomers at large. It has built also a better connection between settlement agencies and community service providers in our community.
The nurse practitioner works with all MCC clients. The clients that are registered with the Multicultural Council, they can access the services of the nurse practitioner. But she also works very, very closely with RIham and CSS program to provide that initial health assessment for the government-assisted refugees.
They're pretty well recipient of such studies, and they actually are eager to participate, to kind of put their voice out there. Think about it, it's more of like an empowering, like really empowering their voice to be communicated to their new community. So I believe that it was received very successfully on that term, and they do want to share what they have, and at the same time they do want to receive what's being delivered to them. So it's mutual.
Yeah, and our partnership with University of Windsor is actually has been multi-layered, and we had the PhD student provide the individual counseling to the clients that expressed their wish to be and to go through the personal counseling, as well as in the delivery of the presentations that were wonderfully accepted. We just recently had a presentation at Health Access Day that was dedicated to the refugees' health. And the doctoral students from Windsor, University of Windsor Psychological Department developed mental health and well-being session, and I wish I had some comments of the client to read to you, but they're just wonderful. They're just wonderful. In regards to the health and with the goal to promote good health and improve access to health services for immigrants, refugees, newcomers. We had the annual event that is called Health Access Day, where we bring together the health and social service providers. And this year we had around 45 exhibitors that got together with over 650 newcomers. A wonderful event for newcomers to learn about the services in the community, and that's no doubt, but also the wonderful opportunity for the service provider to learn about the needs of our clients. The event is organized by the coalition that we built in the Multicultural Council. It's called Community Partners for Multicultural Health, where the members of social service agencies, health agencies such as Windsor Essex Community Health Center, Windsor Essex County Health Unit, Canadian Mental Health Association, AIDS Committee of Windsor, Alive Canada, and many others are sitting around the table, and they organized the event with the lead of the Multicultural Council. And we also offered different workshops at the event.
In regarding to the provision of information and the delivery of groups sessions to the new arrivals. So for example, with the settlement agencies, we have developed settlement information fairs where all of the settlement agencies are present to introduce their services to newcomers, and education fairs which bring all of the school boards in Windsor and Essex to explain about to the parents of how the process of entering school, what options are available to them. We work with, for example, with Children Aid Society in regarding to parenting in Canada, and also regarding Canada's laws in regarding children protection. And many other service providers, we continue working and strengthening their relationship in order for them to continue towards improving the access to services and information to the clients. We're also having, we'll be looking at delivery welcoming activities such as field trips, and we work so what I can say is that the range of service providers that we have been working with has increased. There is a significant interest, an increase in interest in the community members to assist and collaborate with a successful settlement and integration of the arrivals, and this is great to see.
A lot of them have actually, or a lot of them come with the idea that this is going to be their new home, because like I said, they're eager to start here, and they don't have really that plan of going back that some may have. Really, a lot of them actually, we were just discussing stories this morning about successes of their presence here. Like a lot of them are getting engaged into looking into employment opportunities, or even using their skills to promote themselves in the community and to really learn about that other society, that new society that they have. I can think of like singers that we have. I can think of artists that we have. I can think of barbers that we have. Like there are a lot. We see them all across. If you drive just down like the area, it's just wonderful to see that these are the people that we were with in the beginning. Oh, look where they are right now. You know what I mean? So yes, definitely. I think it all starts with, starts just minimally with that permanent accommodation that they have, like this is my new home for now, but then also with the continuation of our involvement as MCC as we're not going to be, holding their hands and pulling that, but we are definitely facilitating that process, and with their motivation to become part of this community, I will definitely say a big yes to that.
And the Client Support Services actually has a survey and has some official data that supports what RIham states. Majority of our clients reports that they gain trust, and this is very, very important stage, I would say, in the getting settled in the country. When you come with such a fear, the next stage is really getting trust into the services, getting trust into your neighbors again. And overwhelming majority reports that they actually accepted Canada and their neighborhood as their new home. And this is wonderful. This is where we see actually that we did a good work.
Yes.
Challenges are still there. And we work on those challenges.
Yes.
Acquiring new language, really, that you can express all the skills that you have. That's one, and finding employment and navigating your everyday life, because this is where the reality comes into place.
Maybe
Once you don't have the case manager anymore and your life is in your hands completely, then there are challenges, but they are successful. They are going to make it. Their children are going to make it.
Windsor community, we've had a really good response in terms of the
Yes.
language, and within, I'm going to say locally within the MCC, and Anna and Marcela can help me with that. Within the MCC, we have the language, all across, even not just as case managers, we have interpretation services, language aides that speak the language, the Arabic language, and actually accompany, or be with the client when we're able to be there for their, say, appointments, for example. We've also connected, in terms of partnership, and I guess Marcela and Anna also can help me with that, as where, like for example, for the health system, there's that language line that we really focus
Encourage
on and promote
service providers, yes, to use.
And other, like if we say mental health, it's going to be a longer process, but all of them have been starting to, like within the community, I'm saying, have been starting to recognize the importance of having someone at least on board who speaks the language, or to access like something along the lines of someone who can help with that process. Nonetheless, we encourage the clients as well to, try to learn the language, or if they have a friend or family member here, then they can accompany them to where they're trying to navigate what system, no matter what system.
And they all get enrolled into the language classes as well, so they're doing their part.
Exactly.
And it has been really a very positive movement in the community, I would say. Since the community received more information about RAP and CSS program, there has been some positive movement in accommodating and serving the diverse population in sense of ordering the interpreters, and everybody, I think, at this moment is thinking about how we can help, how we can serve better, because the Windsor community has changed and will be changing in the future as well. More and more people are coming, as everywhere in Canada.